After that first encounter, silence no longer felt empty. Every breath carried a hidden message. Every flicker of light in the room seemed alive with meaning. I wanted to speak again, but words felt too small. Jesus, you don't need perfect words. Speak to me as you are. Tell me what weighs on your heart. I'm afraid of failing again. I try to be kind, but anger returns. I try to trust, but doubts keep rising. How can I stay close to you when I keep falling? Jesus, love is not a test you pass. It is a journey you walk. Even when you stumble, I hold your hand. Every step you take toward love, no matter how small, is a victory over fear. Short pause. Jesus, remember the seed buried in the soil. It seems lost, hidden, forgotten. But inside the darkness, life is forming. Your struggles are not wasted. They are the soil where new strength grows. Narrator. His words sank deeper than any sermon I had ever heard. They were not just instructions. They were a heartbeat of hope. But the world keeps shouting. News, noise, endless demands. How can I hear your voice in the chaos? Jesus, my voice is the quiet beneath the noise. It does not compete. It waits. Each time you pause to breathe, each time you notice beauty, each time you choose compassion, you are already listening. Narrator. I thought of all the times. I felt a sudden calm during a storm, a surprising kindness from a stranger, a sunrise that seemed to speak. Maybe those were not coincidences. Maybe they were his language all along. Jesus, do not chase signs. Simply live in love. Love is the proof of my presence. When you care for the lonely, when you forgive the unforgivable, you are hearing my heart. Pause for reflection. What about the future? It scares me, the unknown, the losses that might come. Jesus, the future is not a threat. It is a canvas. You do not need to paint it alone. Walk with me one step at a time. My grace will meet you in every tomorrow. Narrator. A warmth. Narrator. Calm, reflective. There are nights when silence feels heavier than any noise. Nights when the city sleeps, but your soul stays wide awake. You stare at the ceiling. Your thoughts wander through shadows and questions. What is the meaning of all this? Why do I feel so alone, even in a world so crowded? And in the quietest corners of your heart, another question rises like a whisper of wind. What if I had lived in the days of Jesus? What if I could walk beside him, ask my questions, look into his eyes and hear answers that heal? Tonight, something begins. Something you never planned. Something that will change how you see the world. As you sit there, eyes closed, heart restless, a presence begins to settle around you. It is not loud. It does not flash or demand. It feels like the first soft light before sunrise. And then a voice. Pause. Music softens to almost silence. Voice of Jesus, gentle, warm, yet powerful. My beloved, you do not need to cross centuries to hear me. I am closer than your breath. I have always been near, waiting for this moment, when you would listen. Narrator. My heart stops. The air itself feels alive. Is this imagination? A dream? Or could it truly be him? The one whose name carries light across the ages? Music swells slightly. Jesus, I know your weariness. I see the weight you carry, the fears you hide, the questions you bury beneath busy days. But remember, you are never alone. I have walked with you through every joy and every sorrow. Before you called my name, I already knew your heart. Softly, hesitant. Lord, the world feels so broken. Hatred spreads faster than love. People hurt each other for power, for greed. What can one small life possibly change? Jesus, light always begins with a single flame. Your kindness, your prayer, your choice to forgive. Each is a spark that pushes back the dark. Never believe that you are powerless. The smallest act of love is greater than the mightiest act of violence. WH.